This is what if Deku was an assassin. And as the title suggests, we will be going over what would happen if Deku, instead of getting one for all, was a natural born assassin. This video was fully scripted, or you know, if you know what scripted means. So if you guys liked like more scripted videos, or me going off the top of my mind, let me know, and I'll try to script more. Um, Now as always, make sure to like and subscribe for more parts and videos. And now, without further ado, let's get straight into the video. When Izuku Midoriya was born, he came from a very complicated bloodline of people. His father being the heir of the Iga clan, and his mother being the heir of the Koga clan. Not knowing which clan Izuku should be the heir to, the grandparents of Izuku came up with a brilliant plan. Now we skip to when Izuku would be around 6 months old. Izuku's parents would be called around Izuku when they would hear a knock on the door. Izuku's father would open the door to see two elderly people, these being Anatsusha Iga and Shikiaka Koka. Father? Izuku would say as he would look up to see Anatsusha Iga. What brings you here today? Why else would we come here, Hisashi? To see your grandchild, of course. Anatsusha would explain. Hisashi, seeing the look on both of their fathers' faces, knew that this was a very important matter, and immediately led them to where Inko and Izuku would be lying. Inko would immediately stand up, seeing that both of their fathers were here. Father? What are you doing here? Inko would say in a very confused tone. What's wrong with you people? Can we not see our own grandchild? Shikyaku would say. Well, it's not that, it's just, you guys came here without any warning, Hisashi would say in a jokingly tone. Both of their fathers would ignore this as they would start walking straight to where Midori would be lying. They would start inspecting the kid like it was some kind of diamond of sorts. They would start whispering, his legs are very muscular. It's gonna be great for running. And his arms would be great for holding a dagger. And look at those piercing red eyes. Those are the eyes of a natural-born assassin. Or a natural-born killer. As both Anatsusha and Shikyoku would start releasing their killing intent. See the will of Deku. Both Inko and Hisashi would rush to try to stop them, but they would be frozen in fear from the amount of bloodlust coming off both their fathers. But the thing that shocked them the most was Izuku. He didn't even move an inch. Instead, he was looking back at his grandparents with an even more piercing gaze. Both Anatsusha and Shikyoku would be shocked and happy at the same time, as this was the first time somebody has ever stood up to their killing intent, let alone a 6-month-old baby. Both of them would start laughing as they would start making plans on how to start training Izuku. But finally, Hisashi would have the courage to speak. Father, please let Izuku have a normal life. I don't want him to go through what Anko and I had gone through. A normal life? You think in a world like this, somebody has a normal life? Keep dreaming, Hisashi. The moment this boy was born, his world was already flipped upside down. Well, Hisashi would say, if not a normal life, at least let Izuku experience what it's like being a kid. Please. As a look of desperation would come over both Inko and Hisashi. Seeing this, both Anatsusha and Shikyoku would ponder over this, as an hour would go by, until they finally said something. 6. Before he turned 6, he will be able to attend school like a normal child. But after that, you will bring him straight to our clans. Are we clear? Both Inko would and Hisashi would breathe out a sigh of relief. Thank you so much, as they would start breaking down into tears. Seeing how they discussed everything they wanted to, both Anatsusha and Shikyoku would start walking out of the apartment door. As another 3 years would pass by. And during this time, Hisashi would start taking his hero work seriously, more seriously. Now, due to this, he would barely be able to see Midoriya, but Midoriya wouldn't care, as he looked up to his father as a role model, an idol of sorts. He wanted to become just like his father, a hero, coming in to save the day, just like All Might. Inko, during this time, wouldn't start gaining weight. Instead, she would work out just like she used to, back at her prime. Now, around this time, Izuku would start going to preschool, where he would meet a lot of people, including Bakugo, one of the cockiest people he ever met. Of course, before Bakugo got his quirk, he was best friends with Izuku, but after getting his explosion quirk, Bakugo let it get to his head. Not only was he treating his classmates with disrespect, he also bullied Izuku for not awakening his quirk as early as him. Now, Izuku wouldn't really care, as he would always keep to himself. So one little nuisance wasn't really a big bother to him. If Bakugo ever did bully Deku, it'd only be a couple of hits, and that would be it. Now, Izuku would be coming home one day from preschool to see a paramedic passing by. Izuku, thinking this is a strange occurrence, as not a lot of villains would come to this area, would start following it. The paramedic's car would keep on going for another 10-15 minutes, until it would finally come to a stop. Deku would immediately hide behind the closest wall he found and peek his head out to see what was happening. There must have been a big fight here, Izuku would think to himself. He would start moving closer to see what was happening. This was when he would hear the heroes talk. How many died? One of the heroes would ask. 3 in total, sir, and 1 in critical condition. Another hero would respond. Make sure to write a letter to the families of the fallen. Yes, sir. The guy who was in critical condition. What happened to him? Oh, you mean the hero Hisashi? We think he won't make it. Deku's heart skipped a beat when he heard his father's name. His legs started to run by themselves as tears started building up in his eyes. He ran and ran. The heroes tried to stop him, but he was too small and agile for them to catch him. Dad! Midoriya would shout as he kept running. Sir, there's a problem. There's a kid. And one of the paramedics would shout, let him be. Let him say his goodbyes, as the hero would say in a sad tone. The paramedic would then shout, everybody stand down. Let the kid go. As the heroes would start opening a path for Deku. Deku, now being able to run faster, would immediately crouch down to where Hisashi was lying. No, Dad, please don't leave me. Please don't leave us. Wake up! The screaming Deku would start crying, and the surrounding heroes would stand there, watching in pure agony of what this kid was going through. Hearing the shouting Deku, something would awaken Hisashi as he would start slowly opening his eyes. Deku, my son. Dad, don't talk. Conserve your strength. You'll get through this. I know you will. You're a hero, right? Deku would say. Deku, Hisashi would say as he puts one of his bloody palms on Deku's cheeks. Deku would immediately put one of his hands on top of Hisashi's. Deku, you and me both know that I won't live through this. So listen to me very carefully. You are my pride and joy. Your mother as well. I love you both so much. I wish I could live with you. Live to watch you grow up to be a splendid boy. Forgive me for being so weak, Deku. Father, the only way I would forgive you is if you stand up and walk home with me. Tell your mother this. Tell her it's time. Tell her it might be a little too early, but it has to be now. And Deku, never be weak. Never bow down to anyone. Promise me. I promise, Dad. I promise. Good. Look after your mom for me. Would you do that for me? No, because you're going to get better and you're going to look after yourself. Make sure to listen to your mom, to eat healthy, and look after yourself. Remember, Deku, never be weak. As starting from now, you are now the heir of both the Iga and Koga clans. As Hisashi would slowly start closing his eyes. The paramedic that was healing him would slowly retract his hand. Why? Why did you stop healing him? Deku would say with a deadly glare. I'm sorry, kid. He already passed away. He was the last of his power to tell you those words. Deku would start crying even more. As he yells, "Ah! Why? Why did it have to be? Why? Why did it have to be him?" Everybody around Deku was silent. Who did it? Deku asks as his eyes go lifeless. We believe it to be the villain Muscular, one of those heroes would say, stuttering. He'll pay. I'll make him pay. He'll pay. As Deku would keep repeating these words. Deku's normal red eyes would start being brighter until it's crimson red. Deku puts on a hoodie and starts slowly walking away, thinking of how he would bash this motherfucker's head in until there is nothing left. And as soon as Deku leaves, the main hero who was in charge of the crime scene would start walking up to the person who told Deku that Muscular killed his dad. Why? Why'd you tell him that? What do you mean? What do you mean? The kid has every right to know who killed his father, he explains. Did you not hear what Hisashi said? That kid, he's the heir to both the Iga and Koga clans, the two most powerful assassin clans in the nation, if not the world. That kid will have his revenge. The people of those clans are taught to have no mercy. All the heroes would start having chills to run down their spines as soon as they heard about those clans. They are known to have no mercy. If one of those clans are after you, there's no person in the world that could save you. Except for maybe All Might. And even then, if both of these clans team up, maybe even All might lose. Deku would start walking back home and knocks on his apartment door. Coming, Inko would say. As soon as she opens the door, Deku would immediately jump up and hug her. Dad's gone. As once again, Deku would start crying. Stop pulling pranks, Izuku. It's not funny. Your dad is a very powerful man. As Deku cuts her off. I saw it. I saw it with my own two eyes. He's really gone. This stops Inko's heart for a second. She also starts crying. He told me it's time. He told me it might be a little too early, but it has to be now. Inko would tightly grab onto Deku as they would both start to cry. I'm sorry, Mom. I was too weak. I couldn't protect Dad. Oh, honey, Inko would say. It's not your fault. What can a 4-year-old do? Thank you for being there for your father, for his last moments. I promise, Mom. I promise I won't be weak anymore. I promise I'll avenge Father. As Deku's tone becomes harder. Deku and Inko would stay together for a while, until Inko finally stood up and grabbed her phone. Deku, unknowing to what was happening, thought she was going to call the cops to see where his dead father was. But instead, Inko was calling his grandparents, telling them what all just occurred. Anatsusha and Chikaku told Inko to immediately bring Deku here, since he won't be able to control his bloodlust. Ansasusha, yeah, told Inko that if she can, she should bring him now, if not tomorrow at the latest, since any more time will make Deku lose his mind and try to rebel against you, Inko. So Inko immediately hung up the phone and would start packing. Deku, not knowing what was happening, stayed in his bedroom until Inko came in. Hey, honey, how would you like to go to our grandparents' house? As she would start patting him in the head. Deku would look up to Inko and explain, as long as it's far away from here, I don't care. So Inko and Deku would go for a very long drive. And that's the end of this part. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I have part 2 already written or scripted. So if you guys want another part, maybe tomorrow, make sure to let me know. This video is gonna be kind of late. I know that, or maybe I'll post it tomorrow. Sorry if I was like really quiet the whole video. My bird just kind of died yesterday. He was a cockatiel, so yeah. I've been trying to get over that for a while. Again, sorry if I had no emotion. Um, and tell me if you guys want me to script these videos. If you guys don't, if I stop posting for a while, it's probably because I'm trying to get over the fact that he passed away. He was one of the best birds I ever had. So, um, yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and let's get to I don't know, 30 likes for another part, and 55 likes for another part tomorrow. Anyways, with all that said and done, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.